Hey guys, BatCat here.
Oh, I can't do it. Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a review for Batman Year One. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you might have seen my bookstore debacle the other day. I was carrying a fat sack of books and I didn't know what to get. So I tweeted it out and I got a big response to get Batman Year One, which I'm glad because this book was really awesome. This book takes you from Bruce's 12-year training journey, well, the end of it, to him establishing himself as Batman. So you see him in this pre-Batman kind of state of pretty much an amateur Bruce kind of character, and then you also see a few other main Gotham universe characters like Selina Kyle and Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon's probably the other main character of this book. A lot of it is focused on his story and how he acclimated to Gotham PD. But I have a feeling most of you guys, well, I'm sure most people know how Bruce got his inspiration for Batman, the whole bat flying into his office, or his dad's office, I think, and landing on his dad's statue. But this takes it way more in detail, but because most people know it, I don't really want to do a plot summary kind of review like I tend to do in most of my trade reviews. Instead, I was thinking of doing like a character evaluation maybe, because we're all familiar with the characters also, but them, oh my god, but them in this book, you're not as familiar with them. They're not like Catwoman isn't Catwoman. She's sort of living on the streets, trying to survive with her friend Holly, and then Jim Gordon, as I said, is a lieutenant in this book. He's not commissioner. So I like seeing the characters in this book. Oh my god, she's climbing my bookshelf. You're gonna break something. Don't break Aquaman. Oh my god. Okay, I got her down. So I'm just gonna do character by character now. So like I said, I don't want to do a plot summary, but I'm just gonna do a quick little intro or overview of the book just so you're not completely lost and I don't completely confuse you guys. So as I said, it's Bruce from the end of his 12-year training period to him trying to establish himself as a hero of Gotham, or he's trying to figure out how exactly he's gonna crime fight. So it starts off there. He goes back to his manor and tries to do stuff, but at the same time you see Jim Gordon transitioning into Gotham PD, and you see briefly, not as much as the other characters, you see Selina Kyle show up and how she is dealing with life and all her own hardships. So pretty much this book is a collection of crimes and how Batman is slowly integrating himself into Gotham City. But okay, I'm going to start with Bruce Wayne. So as I said earlier, this Bruce Wayne is an amateur. He's not the cool collected Batman we would see in modern day books. He's all over the place. He does have his skills. He has everything. He can read people. He can fight. He's not in the flow of it yet. So, well, I'm sure if we were thrown into a situation like that, or if any of us choose to be a hero or fight crime or what have you, we would probably be in the same position as he is. He's not necessarily misguided, but he's unsure of how exactly he wants to show himself in public, how he wants to show himself to criminals. It's not until later when he sees the bat, that he decides that fear is going to be his weapon, his main weapon against criminals, and that with him as a menacing Batman, he'll be able to show criminals, like, this isn't your city anymore, don't do these crimes. So, but even when he takes on the mantle of Batman, which is sort of the second half of this book, he's still as clumsy as he is in normal street clothes. It works for a little bit, like his first encounter with criminals in his Batman costume, they are frightened for a few minutes because they're not sure, like, who's this weirdo wearing a bat mask, but after the initial surprise, they just go back into thinking that he's just maybe a cop in disguise or some kind of freak who's trying to stop them. So because of that, and because, well, not because of that, but of course he defeats them, but it's not without injury. He definitely hurts himself a lot more in this book because, well, he doesn't hurt himself. The criminals hurt him a lot more because he's not as it's not as planned out as he is, or as he would be now. He's not as strict with his role. He's not as strict with his guidelines. So even though it's not as fun to watch someone, like to watch a fight scene that is action-packed and you know Batman's gonna win, because in this book a lot of times you think he's gonna lose because he looks unsteady. He looks, honestly, he just looks like a WrestleMania fighter, which is a terrible reference, but yeah, he's just not as put together. And I wanted to see awesome fight scenes and awesome fight sequence, but you have to realize that in this current state, in his pre-Batman kind of identity... Oh, don't knock the camera! You're such a jerk! Pan is being such a jerk today. That was her paw. That was all over the camera lens. And now she's scratching my couch. But anyways, yeah, so if you're looking for a book where Batman is completely put together and where he takes down villains with ease, then this isn't the book. This is him really grounding himself as a hero and as someone who can rise above the rest. So that's Batman in this book. The next main character is Jim Gordon. So Jim Gordon, I had a love-hate relationship with him in this book, honestly. Half of the time I really admired him for his bravery and his dedication to the law. Actually, I think the rest of Gotham PD in this book are dirty cops. They're very corrupt. They take any bribes. They're actually the commissioner in this book is in cahoots with the Falcone family. So the whole department is just all over the place, and crime is happening at an extreme level because the police are getting money, so they don't really care. And then in steps Jim Gordon, who will not fold to the rest of the police. He will not become a dirty cop. He really is dedicated to helping people and for the common good. So because of that, he gets beat up at one point. He gets a lot of hard talks, and everyone else conspires to bring him down. But regardless, he's still focusing. He's still trying to become the best cop he can be. And when Batman first shows up, of course they're not friends yet in this book, but when he shows up, at first he's a bit averse to him. He doesn't think that Batman is a good symbol for Gotham City or that he could actually do any good. But then later on you see him slowly go into the non-caring mode, like let him do whatever he wants. And eventually he sort of gets this feeling like, okay, this guy's good, maybe we should just let him do what he wants to do. So that's the good side of Jim Gordon. At least that's what I found to be the high points of him. The hate part of my love-hate relationship with him is when he cheats on his wife in this book. First of all, cheating isn't something that and I hope everyone else doesn't take lightly, but especially when you cheat on your pregnant wife, that is just a whole new low to me. I guess in a sense it made him more human. He couldn't control his emotions for the other detective, blah blah blah, but still, it just made me really dislike him. I don't know, yes, he's not a dirty cop, but in a sense he is reflecting their corruptness because he's doing it internally and even worse to people he loves. So Jim Gordon in this book, I like seeing where he came from per se, but at the same time I don't like where they took him. I wish, well, if they took the cheating part out, I guess he would be sort of too perfect in this book, but still, it wasn't something that made it good for me, I guess you would say. But yeah, okay, so that was Jim Gordon. Another minor character I want to mention, well, he's not super minor, but his partner in this book, Gordon's partner, is Detective Flass. He is probably one of the most corrupt cops in here, besides the commissioner himself. So they partnered up in the beginning, but Flass's bravado and his overall evilness is something that Gordon is not happy with, but Gordon plays it cool. He knows that if he's loud and brash like he is, that nothing will get accomplished. But because of that, Flass is one of the people who beats up on Gordon later on. And Flass's character, if you watch the movie, he's in there too. Flass's character is just one of those guys that you really just want to punch in the face. He's one of those people that will do everything for himself and make it, I don't know, he's very egotistical. So it was nice to see their partnership because there's two extremes, personality-wise at least, so seeing them bounce off of each other and try to deal with each other was cool. It was sort of like a buddy cop movie, but like with not so good cops. Meh. So yeah. Okay, anyways, next character. Who should I talk about next? Selina Kyle. Okay, so as I said, this is pre-Catwoman. Well, she transitions, I can't talk, sorry. She transitions into Catwoman in this book, but before that she's pretty much a hooker on the streets. She doesn't really have a mission except to survive. Her and Holly, who is this little girl who she protects. I'm guessing Holly's like a preteen or something, but Selina's made it her goal to protect her and just try to live in the bad side of Gotham. But once she sees Batman and once she realizes that this isn't the way to go, she could use her talents for other things, that's when she tries to be Catwoman and is successful because she's smart, she knows how to fight. She even fights Bruce at one point in this book before he becomes Batman. She doesn't know it's him though, obviously, but Bruce even mentions that she is a good fighter even though he easily defeats her. So Selina in this book, what I liked about her was how she needed to protect Holly, which was a very motherly, maternal instinct of hers. But besides that, she wasn't really a favorite in this book. I didn't think she really needed to be in here, but it was nice seeing her pre-Catwoman status, and it sort of shows the grit of her character and how survivor-ish she is, which makes me think of the Destiny Child song. But yeah, that's how she is in this book. Again, I don't think she's really needed, but it was okay. It was okay overall. Who else? I think those are all the major characters in this book, the ones they really focused on. Besides that, there's Selina Kyle's friend Holly, who is, again, like a preteen hooker. She is pretty feisty, she's sassy, which is, I guess, good for the streets. Besides that, they don't really give her enough lines to evaluate her character. And then there's Alfred, who only has like 5 lines tops. He's mainly there to just patch Bruce up and make sure he's alright. Not enough, again, to really go on his personality, but I'm sure we all know Alfred, we all love Alfred, so there's not much to talk about him. Yeah, that's basically all the characters in this book. If you like Batman, if you're a big Batman fan, you should definitely read this. It's a solid book, the art's good, and overall I enjoyed it. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys have a good day, or I hope you're not too disappointed by the Super Bowl or anything. I was iffy. Once it hit the second half, I was like, whatever, Seattle's gonna win. But yeah, okay. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.